But we begin with big changes on a busy interstate here in Indianapolis. The speed limit will be changing starting tomorrow.
Yeah, this is really for a significant part of the 465 loop. You can see it here. Our Emily Longnecker joins us live tonight with what drivers can expect. Emily?
Hi guys, we are on I-465 right now, driving the loop. Right now we're going the speed limit, which is 55 miles per hour, excuse me, but tomorrow that's changing in many parts of the loop to 65 miles per hour.
You'll start seeing the new 65-mile-per-hour signs pop up over the next week. INDOT says traffic will have minimal impacts while they do that. What areas of 465 won't see the speed limit going up? Well, the area between 86th and 96th Streets on the loop's northwest side is staying at 55. And on the southeast side between I-70 and I-65, the variable speeds that are there now are staying in place. And let's not forget about construction zones. Drivers should still follow the decreased speed limit in those. Indiana State Police say they will monitor speeds and ticket drivers going too fast.
We certainly expect people to push the limits as they already do, and just know that officers have a discretion. We kind of have a threshold of where we start stopping cars at, and all the troopers that I've spoken to have said they're not going to change that threshold. In other words, just because the speed limit is raising 10 miles an hour doesn't mean that their threshold is raising 10 miles an hour.
So ISP has formed a new squad to deal with speed enforcement, and coming up tonight at 6, I'll explain a little bit of that more later. Jenny, Dustin?
Yeah, and 55 is kind of the slow speed if you drive on 465 anyway.
I was curious, Emily, if you're going 55, are people still just passing you left and right? Nope, there they go, yep.
So actually we're now going 59. I'm just looking at the speedometer, and yeah, people are passing us left and right, so they are going over the speed limit. And you know, tomorrow is July 1st, so it's not just the speed limit that's going up on I-465 that is changing. If you use tobacco products, if you smoke, that price is also going up, and we're going to explain a little bit about that tonight at 6. Jenny, Dustin?
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Emily.
Well, Emily mentioned it. Changing tomorrow, a pack of cigarettes is going to cost a lot more. To help deal with that dismal revenue forecast, lawmakers voted to increase the tax on tobacco products. So for cigarettes, that means about an extra $2 per pack. Prices on other tobacco products going up too. And starting tomorrow, it'll be more difficult for some people to get and keep Medicaid insurance coverage. The state is going to be more strict about income and work requirements for certain Medicaid recipients. The state will check eligibility every month for everyone enrolled, and then the number of people on HIP, that's the Healthy Indiana Plan, will be capped. That could cost more than 100,000 people their health care coverage.
Also starting tomorrow, Indiana's gasoline tax goes up, and we actually pay several different taxes for each gallon of gas at the pump. So I wanted to show you the breakdown here. First, there's the excise tax. Okay, it goes up a penny each year by law. That's been the case for a while now. It's going up to 36 cents. There's also the sales tax that changes monthly. It increases tomorrow about a penny to 17.5 cents. You've also got the federal taxes. So then you add another 18.4 cents there, plus an oil inspection fee of a penny. So in all, when you add all of that up, we're paying 72.9 cents a gallon in taxes, which is also one of the highest in the country, according to Kiplinger Finance.
Interesting to see that all broken down. Thanks, Dustin. Now to what's been a violent few days across Indianapolis. So we are learning more today about a deadly shooting this morning on Indy's east side. This happened near 38th and Butler just before 4 a.m. IMPD says when officers arrived there, they found a man shot and in very critical condition. He later died at the hospital. Witnesses told 13 News some sort of disturbance happened inside the home before this shooting. So far, no arrests. And that shooting follows a violent weekend across Indianapolis. Police are also investigating 2 more shootings on Sunday. The first happened Sunday morning on Indy's north side. Metro Police say neighbors found 2 men, 19-year-olds Isaiah Wilson and Jesse Q. Rose, shot and killed near 43rd and Cornelius Avenue. Police are still working to find out exactly what happened, and they still are searching for suspects. Several hours later on Sunday, IMPD responded to another shooting, this time on Southeastern Avenue. We're told a hit-and-run crash on Mass Ave led to a possible road rage shooting. Someone in one of the vehicles pulled a gun, killing the victim. Police detained a person of interest, but later released them. They call this shooting avoidable.
Picking up a firearm should not be the first resort that you go to whenever you have a disagreement with somebody. It's unacceptable. Our officers are doing everything that we can to deter gun violence. I think we've done a good job of that in the last year or so, so we'll continue to do that.
There have now been 72 homicides in Marion County since the start of the year. Police say homicide numbers overall are down compared to last year, but that does not account for non-fatal shootings so far this year.
And in Rush County, investigators are trying to figure out what caused a deadly fire over the weekend. It happened yesterday morning near Arlington. When firefighters got there, the house was completely engulfed. Once they were able to get inside, they found a man dead. His identity has not been yet released.
All right, it's 4:07, and hey, I see a little more sunshine than I did earlier at noon, but we know how it feels out there.
Boy.
That muggy meter still hanging around.
man.
So humid.
10 straight days.
But who's counting?
Miserably humid air. Yeah, I'm not counting or anything.
We've got a break at some point, right?
Yeah.
Pretty soon?
We will. This time tomorrow,
Okay.
you should notice. Now, it's not going to be fall. Okay.
A mini break.
Nor should it be.
Hey, we'll take what we can get
It
at
is
this
going to be
point.
about 48 hours of relief, so
Okay.
you might
Hey.
want to enjoy it. Okay. And that transition, by the way, tonight is going to prove to be wet and at times a little stormy here. Now, you've got some quiet weather for the most part here right now and really the next several hours, though it is fair game in this muggy air with the sun being up, even when the sun's down, as we saw last night. Fair game anywhere, anytime for pop-ups. If you're going to be outdoors this evening, it's very humid. That continues. Downpours around, and we're going to focus later tonight on what's to come here. I'll have more on that in just a second. But let's set the stage for your evening. We're at 87 right now. Richmond at 86. 86 in Muncie. Still have a flood warning for another 43 minutes there over parts of Monroe County, where I'm going to show you coming up here in just a little bit some very impressive rain totals. Dew points well into the 70s. That's wishful thinking there in Crawfordsville. So we've got the tropical air. Later tonight, we're going to have a little bit better wind energy. So though we're hit and miss on the downpours right now, we're looking to the west. We've got the cool front that's going to bring relief. It's got higher wind energy with it, and that's going to up the ante that we could see a complex of thunderstorms approaching us by the time we get toward 10, 11 o'clock. How long that survives is to be determined, but it brings heavy rain potential and some pockets of maybe 60-mile-per-hour gusts. This thing may linger into the overnight and early tomorrow morning, so we want you to know that rumbles of thunder, some localized flooding, very much on the table before this thing can get out of the state by about 8 tomorrow morning. We'll have more on the relief. Yes, it is brief. We have a new string of 90s in the 7-day forecast here in a few minutes.
All right, Sean, thank you. It is a big week for the Indiana Fever. They're gearing up for the Commissioner's Cup final tomorrow night. They're going to be taking on the Minnesota Lynx.
Yeah, this is really a big game for the Fever. So Minnesota has the best record in the WNBA right now. And some of you might be asking, what exactly is the
Right.
Commissioner's Cup? So we'll explain for you. It's an annual in-season tournament in the WNBA. The Fever won the East, the Lynx won the West, so they play each other tomorrow. And get this, there is a $500,000 prize pool given to the winning team.
The final tomorrow does not count as a regular season game. Also, it doesn't impact their standings at all. But there is money involved, so
it matters.
It matters, right. The game's tomorrow night at 8. Caitlin Clark, by the way, her availability still remains a question. She had that groin injury. Dominic Miranda's looking into this. He's going to have all of this coming up on 13 News at 5 and 6.